I wasted 7 years in the gym making no progress because I had no feedback. I didn't really know if what I was doing was working, and when I went off track, which inevitably is going to happen, I couldn't correct it fast enough. So I would go for months without making any sort of change. Then, around 4 or 5 months ago, I stripped everything out and went back to the fundamentals and focused on implementing an active feedback system. And in the process, in just 4 months, I went from the worst shape of my life to looking like this. Today, I'm going to show you why shortening your feedback loop is the fastest way towards your fitness goal. And for me, it was out of this skinny fat purgatory. And then I'm going to tell you how you can implement it yourself. So firstly, what actually is active feedback? For most people, just like my former self, they don't really know if what they're doing in the gym and what they're doing with their eating is helping them go towards the goal or it's taking them further away from the goal. Here's an analogy. This is very similar to flying a plane and only checking your instruments when you're halfway across the ocean. By the time you have a chance to realize that you're literally hundreds and maybe even thousands of miles in the wrong direction. Active feedback basically means that you are constantly measuring and adjusting to make sure that you're heading towards the right direction. The more of these active feedback loops you're going to have, the more adjustments you can make. And with the more adjustments you make, the more of a smoother path you're going to have towards the right direction. And you want to remember is whatever gets measured gets managed. So the second part, why shortening the feedback loop matters. Longer feedback loops basically mean slower progress. If you weigh yourself once a month, or you're looking at your progress based on holiday photos and kind of like guessing if you're getting stronger of vibes without actually writing anything down or tracking. If you have a very short feedback loop, it offers a fast correction period. Within 1 week, you know if your plan is actually working. Within 1 day, you know if you're hitting your protein, if you know if you're hitting your calories. And if you're not, you can simply adjust it. These micro adjustments for me include morning weigh-ins I do this like when I wake up on an empty stomach. And then I would also track all the food I eat to make sure I'm getting enough calories, that I'm getting enough protein. And then afterwards, I would also make sure that I'm tracking all my workouts as well. So am I lifting more each week? Am I lifting the same? Am I lifting less? Am I getting stronger or am I getting weaker? So weekly trend analysis. So I compare my 7-day average weight to the 7 days before or a couple of months before. I'd compare lifts every single week to make sure that I am getting stronger. And let's say if I hit a plateau, I would maybe think about taking a deload or maybe think about like adjusting an exercise. Maybe I was just doing weighted pull-ups. So I'd go do some lat pull downs or I do chin-ups. And then I would check steps and cardio targets. So the key idea here is you're never more than 7 days away from knowing if your plan is actually working or not. And to be honest, it's 7 days is a bit excessive. Realistically, I'll know within 2 to 3 days. Okay, active feedback in action. So let me give you some examples. So the first thing is a weight example. Let's say my goal is to lose half a kilo every single week. So 7 to 10 day pass and weight hasn't actually moved. So how can I use this? So I could either drop my calories by 200 or even 100 calories, then I would add more steps and maybe I think about adding more cardio depending on, I guess, my situation. Like we can experiment. Then a workout example. So my goal is to add just 1 rep every single week on weighted pull-ups. So I'm stuck for 3 weeks at the same weight. So I can think about changing exercise variation, maybe think about taking a deload, maybe I haven't been recovering as well, sleeping less and stuff. So that's something to focus on. Or maybe I want to increase my nutrition just before I go to the gym. Then protein example. So let's say my goal is 120 grams of protein every single day. And then over the past couple of days, I've averaged just 85. So how can I change that? I would add an extra shake. I would have high protein snacks, or maybe I substitute some of the food which I'm eating for something else. So the next thing here is the gamification. Gamification effect. So growing up, I love video games. Things like FIFA, things like COD. I love Far Cry and Minecraft as well. Can't go wrong with Minecraft. What you can do is you can use working out, gym, and the way you look as you can treat it as a game. So what you can do, you can create a scoreboard. So things like smart scales, things like progress photo, things like tracking apps, you can see that you're improving or getting worse week in, week out. Main thing here is this game is not about perfection, but it's about actually improving a little bit at a time every single week. Okay, so some final takeaways. The reason why I stayed skinny in this like skinny fat purgatory, if that's what you want to call it, is it wasn't because of genetics, or it wasn't because of slow metabolism, it's because of lack of feedback. As soon as I started to shift my feedback loop from few months at a time, even years, to every day, every single week, I finally knew what I was doing was working, or if it wasn't. I stopped wasting years in the gym and turned it into a game, and here's where results actually start to show. So if you're interested to know a bit more, maybe how you can use ChatGPT and AI for all of this, so check out this video right here.